What's going on, everybody? I'm DJ Av, and smash that like button because today we have the AKAI Professional Tom Cat drum machine. So we're gonna talk about that today. I'm gonna give my opinions. Let's go.
Nintendo.
So with no surprise, this thing has been getting a lot of hate in the past, and I think it came out in 2015. I could be wrong. However, with that being said, I feel that this machine is pretty darn good for what it's worth. That the fact that it is an analog beat machine. And yeah, I have a bad habit of double tapping because I'm used to play and stop type thing on the NPC, and usually the stop button is like a panic button or whatever. I just double tap. I always do that. But yeah, so out top, again, creating drums, drum synthesis. That's me, and just the fact that having like a pure kind of voltage drum machine that can do a plethora of things. Uh, so let's talk about the pads. The pads feel real good, by the way. They're none less than what you would expect from a Kai. Uh, as you can see, the pads have a good amount of thickness to them and responsiveness. They're velocity sensitive, so you could be super cool, calm about that. But the ins and outs here, even though I have like double them, I don't know why I have that plugged up in twice. I just did that. But you have a main out, phone out, and then you have 5-pin MIDI. Thank God, MIDI out and MIDI in, and then you also have audio sync in and out, but they call it gate trigger on here, as well as a USB port where you can use the external clock, which will be like your DAW of choice. And so you can use this as a MIDI controller, but I find that to be quite lame if you was to purchase this for that particular purpose. And then of course you have your AC/DC power, and they supply a brick, but they don't supply like the USB cord or whatever. But man, I have so many of those. But if you don't, that's gonna be one of those things that grind your gears. So other than that, some of the features that you have here, the kick drum, you can make it as boomy as possible, and I got just turn down the more feature or whatnot, which is kind of the distortion knob or whatnot. The knobs themselves, they're made out of plastic. They're not military grade or anything of that nature. And you can't expect military grade after paying $200. But the build quality is pretty good. I do like the wooden finishes on the sides. It gives a very classic feel and a taste. I do like the color line, and it matches with my KRKs over here. But that's just cosmetics and not stuff that will feature. But anyways, so the pitch, you have a pitch envelope, volume envelope, and tune on your kick drum. The tune obviously affects like the transpose or the pitch. So you can get some nice bottom 808s there. The mall again is distortion. So if I was to I didn't want to destroy anybody's ears, that's why I turned it down. So I got good levels anyway. So you could do a lot of stuff with this. So creativity wise, it is up to the person, for you to do that. And for me, I have a Alesis Multimix 8, which has onboard effects. So, if I was to go to another level and, add some reverb, I could do some really crazy stuff. If I was creating like a drum kit or something like that, or if you was creating a drum kit in general, not just for me, but that was the first purpose of it. Other than that, for performance, snare, You get decay as well. You get your filter, and it's a high pass filter, as you can see. I'm guessing maybe a 24 dB. The built-in resonator kind of separates itself from the white noise. It's also the white noise is tied to the decay, and somebody said that the filter itself is not tied to the tone of the snare, which is usually your waveform, maybe a triangle or traditionally a sine wave, but it obviously is. The higher the more that you dial in the filter, the less you hear the tone of or the body of the snare, as well as the white noise. I will tell you this though, what's funny, you get less noise from the tune, and you get more body from the snare when you mess with the tune of it, versus it being controlled by pitch, which is kind of a letdown there, because if it needs to be tied to, in my opinion, I would definitely love for either the noise or the tone or body of the waveform to be tied to tune, because the lower you go in an octave or whatnot, the snare changes up a lot, so it's kind of limiting. Of course, you have your volume, so you can mix it. You have clap. Clap is kind of interesting in the way that it tones out. Unlike the snare drum, the tune controls the actual tone of the noise. So you can change the snap of it, and then of course decay. So you can get some pretty good stuff out of that. Hi-hats, kind of interesting. This is the open hat, and they're tied into each other. It's kind of weird. Messes with the graininess of the white noise. You can. Of course, you got decay again. You do have toms, and then it has a different thing like pew and whoop, which messes with the way the envelope snaps the specific sine wave. And you get attack, decay. As you can see, if I mess with the pew there, so you can. But it's fun, man. Like for a live performance and stuff like this, I find this drum seem to be very intuitive for something of that, because you're kind of expressing the drums as you can go and stuff like that. And speaking of which, it has other features as well that I really like about it. You can mess with the swing, of course, and I'm have to run. All in which is very, very programmable via like the sequencer itself, because it does have a sequencer. You know, the sequencer is tied for, as you can see, if I was to hit that kick drum, you see where the kick drums are at. You could delete the kick drum and go from there. You know, you can then, you know, each and every element, you know, you just add what you want in there. You know, that's controlling the snare. So I'm pretty sure y'all get that. There's also tap tempo. As you see, I just went and splat out ham. Then you have your variations where you can alter both variations of whatnot in the fills. And it switches back and forth when you use the fills or whatnot. The distortion, I feel that it's okay when you do dial it up quite viciously. There's a bit of white noise introduced. I don't know if you can actually hear that or not, or if I'm just tripping, but I do hear that in my headphones. You do have other things that you can do with the other shift functions. Of course, you can mute and solo. And, you know, overall, what I feel about this drum machine is that this fact that it's limited. It's limited in some of the features versus other drum machines. I do feel that it also has some things creative wise that I could express in that. Also, you can sync this with something like your modular synth down here. One thing I did find that was kind of awkward, and I'm pretty sure I worked that out, is the fact that if I do, you know, it's kind of weird timing. And from what I was told, that you gotta press both velocity and play after you stop it to get it to play the whole entire drum sequence from the beginning to end again. So that's kind of weird. Perhaps maybe I'll figure that out in a future video or whatnot, because I plan on getting down with this anyways. But, you know, that's pretty much a good summary of it. But overall, I really do like it. I would definitely get this again. You know, I know it seems a little early that I would go into this, but man, I've been working with drum machines for quite a while. And for those who are just curious, hold on, it's quite compact. It doesn't have the other features that the Electribe sampler has in terms of like the portability or where you can have batteries in it or whatnot. But, you know, that's not what the aim was for this. This is, you know, it could be it's supposed to be like a mobile, you make beats or whatever on the fly while you're out on the road or whatever type thing as well. But this is, we're in the studio, we're trying to create something new, different, you know, fresh, old school, whatever. And yeah, it's there. So anyways, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please ask me. If you have any questions, definitely ask me, and I'll try to cover it in another video so that everybody can get, you know, comfortable with it if they have any plans on purchasing it. So yeah, I'm DJ McCree, and I am out of here. Take it easy.
Traptendo.